And what is up, guys? Hopefully, what is up, guys? Hopefully, y'all can hear me good. Make sure we all rolling. Let me double check to see. Gifted Guy Media, I can hear you. What's up, man? Appreciate that. Hopefully, you can hear me well. I had a video from the job fair itself, but it's not going to play correctly. But it's still going to give us pretty much all the information that pretty much still going to give us all the information that we need. Okay, perfect, awesome. If you have any questions, now's the perfect time to throw them out there. Gifted Guy Media. I don't know if this is the first time you've ever called a live from me, but today we're talking about oil field information and everything from the job fair. The video didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to turn out, but slides from your computer. We're going to go to a double pane in just a second, because one thing I want to share is, let's see, how can I do that? Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. Share. I'm going to open up a couple of things, and I'm going to get this ball rolling. All right. Thanks, man. I've got some information. I've got it all here on the computer so y'all can see it, and y'all can see it for yourselves. All right, I want to share. Let's see, 2020 window today is going to come up differently. Hold on just a second. No, I don't want to go to that. Videos. Perfect. All right. Give me just a second to get all this stuff lined out. I had it lined out, but then since the video wouldn't play, I kind of falling back on my backup plan. StreamYard, Mozilla, not the entire screen. Yep, perfect. All right, here we go. And we should be able to go from perfect. We can go from picture to picture. What? Okay, even better. Even better, guys. It's actually turning out better than I thought it was. Go back to y'all. All right. Now I know exactly what I want to share. Perfect. All right, guys, this right here is the job fair. This is After I walked back in the second time, okay, I'm gonna mute it so that y'all can hear me, and hopefully there won't be no echo. This is after I walked back in the second time. I made another lap around, and I went to go talk to a few of the other companies and things like that that were represented at the job fair. And I'm gonna slide this right here over out of the way because I am gonna need to communicate to you guys. Now, what you see in my hand, now, what you see in my hand, we're gonna go over a couple of things, but I'll let the job fair play for a minute. When you're going to an oil field job fair, they do hire people on the spot, so keep that in mind. They do hire people on the spot. Most of the people that they hire on the spot are the people who are qualified for that position at that time and people that have already applied before they got there. Those are usually the people that get hired the quickest because this is the best time for you to get into the oil and gas industry. To talk to people. Some companies are different. Some companies may have a little bit of information for you. Some companies may have a lot of information for you. Some of them, they may just tell you to go to their website, and that's pretty much it. Halliburton was like that. Halliburton, when I asked them certain things, they couldn't really tell me because they didn't know. They just said, go to the website and apply. But I'm here at a job fair to talk and where was this at? This was at the Marriott in Odessa, Texas, off of, I think it was 5th Street or 3rd Street in Odessa, Texas. They just had this today. So this is fresh off the presses. This video is actually towards the end of the job fair. I wish I could have gotten there earlier and networked a lot more, but it all worked out. So it's all good either way. Let's see. And if you guys have any questions, size, seaboard, tow, frac, sand shortages, is that right? Not that I know of. Like, frac will run, and when they're running a lot of fracs at one time, they'll get low on sand because they're trying to keep up with the amount of trucks that's coming in to get it. And the fracking, it kind of takes a process to complete it. That's when I was talking to Halliburton. I wish they'd have had more information when I was asking them, but they didn't. But it's all good. It's all good. But let's go ahead and let's get to some. Where are my shortcut buttons? I like this company right here. These guys were solid. They gave me answers for stuff that I asked them, and I really like that, man. They're really solid company, man. And they're also in Texas. I think they're also in Pennsylvania. They're in some other places. All right, we're gonna back out of that, and we're gonna go to something else for just a second. Share screen. Yep, perfect. That's what I want you guys to see. All right, depending on whether you're looking at this on your phone or you're looking at this on your tablet or your personal computer, Shepherd Safety is looking for safety positions, safety techs, and field techs. It could be a variety of things that they're going to have you doing. So keep that stuff in mind. Cng Energy Services is looking for junior electricians, apprentice electricians, linemen, foreman, ground hand, operator, pole line crews. This sounds like guys that are going to be working on the electrical power lines when it says stuff like that. USB T Corp, large variety. It's Probably sounds like general labor. NOV, that's National Oil Well Barcode. Let me check you guys' comments for just a second. Awesome. And also, thank you guys for hanging out. And if you're leaving the comments, I can see the comments on my YouTube channel, JPTV3000. So I don't know if they're coming through from Facebook also. I spelled that wrong. Hanging eye. All right. All right. Let's get back to the information. National Oil Well Varco, HSC Maintenance Field Tech, and they're hiring. When I talked to the guy, he said they're hiring for all of the positions that they have all over the country, from CDL, forklift, shop hand, service engineer, sales engineer, drilling engineer, service tech. One of the things that I know National Oil Well Varco does is they have their own wellhead components that they sell. They go out, they assemble, and they also maintenance those. You can apply for them online. I think this is Bodell Construction. They're looking for welders. So those of you guys also hit that like, hit that subscribe for more videos. And I got more interviews that I got to be working on and finishing those up. Let's see what else. Cud Energy was hiring. As you can see, they're hiring for a coil tubing operator, coil tubing assistant, fluid pump operator, nitrogen operator, nitrogen assistance, electrician, technician. I've done most of that stuff. And I think they're going to be 70,000 and up range. So for those of you guys, and I think he said, 14 and 7. Down here in the Texas area, 14 and 7 seems to be the majority rotation that they have down here in this area. And that's from frac to wireline, you name it, some of everything. What else we got? Halliburton, you can use a QR code or go to their website. So that's pretty much what they told me. They kept pointing at this and trying to hand me that sheet of paper. Go to their website, and that's all Halliburton would say. I'm like, okay, that's all y'all got. I'm done. Weatherford is hiring for a number of positions. If you look in the bottom left-hand corner, maybe the bottom right-hand corner, depending on what you're looking at or how your orientation is on your screen. Crane operators, NCC CO certified. Field service representative, technicians, fishing technicians, supervisors, operation supervisors, repair, maintenance technicians, sales, warehouse, material handlers. Weatherford, it's some work, some of it, but some of it is just you're doing some warehouse work. This stuff ain't hard. It's easy. Weatherford's another company that does wellhead. They sell wellhead pieces that are assembled either in the shop and then put together in the shop. They'll put it on a hot shot truck, and then they'll transport it out to the location. And then usually Weatherford doesn't do the crane stuff, but they might, because they're kind of like oil states. They'll do the same thing that oil states does. So sometimes they have their own crane, or it'll be a truck mounted crane, and you'll take that out to location and you'll assemble the rest of the wellhead components onto the well. Sometimes Weatherford will just sell a company the completed BOP in pieces. So you'll have a 3-step BOP, and they will sell that to where when they bring it out to you, they bring it out to you in 3 pieces. And whatever crew that's out there, usually they have to assemble that themselves. And you can see down at the bottom, weatherford.com/careers. And these are more of the, we need to zoom in here. So you guys can see that. All right, get that right there out of the way. All right. Profrac, they're hiring. Mobile parts clerk, mechanics, equipment operators, CDL drivers, frac. Neighbors, for those of you guys that wanted to get into drilling or work over rig, Neighbors is hiring for floor hands, motor hands, derrick hands, drillers, casing floor, and they're hiring outside of the West Texas oil field. They're also hiring in North Dakota. They're hiring in Wyoming, and I think he said Pennsylvania. So this is more than just Dakota oil field. This is Wyoming oil field. This is Colorado. This is Pennsylvania, West Virginia, New Mexico. Quite a few of these companies, probably around half, that are in these other areas. They're also applying. They also have positions open for these other areas, but you'll have to go on their website and have more information like that, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Halliburton, and here's the thing: how this is listed for what Halliburton's hiring for, but the people that were there at the Halliburton booth representing Halliburton couldn't even tell me this. So Halliburton, I got to give you a thumbs down. Y'all could have done better, being that y'all are Big Red. Y'all could have done a lot better at that job fair. Weatherford, you already saw on the flyer that they gave me, the position that they're hiring for. Patterson UTI, which is a drilling company, hiring for floor hands, motor hands, derrick hands, and drillers. Arc Rock, gas compression mechanic, diesel mechanics, field technician, material handlers, HR, purchasing. And I think you guys may be able to blow this up more on your phone. I don't know how much YouTube or Facebook will let you guys, but if that helps you see it better, awesome. Let me know in the comments. Yeah. What do you need for safety? It depends on the company. Sometimes they'll hire somebody and they'll train them with all of the stuff that they need. Gifted guy media asked me. Hey, Hads. Very appreciated, JP. Have a good one. Thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, share to others. If you know anybody looking to get into the oil and gas industry, now's the perfect time to do it. Somebody asked me something about there's so many sand mines around here. It is ridiculous. There are probably over 20. There's probably over 30 sand mines to get sand from. So I can't say it's a sand shortage. It could just be that it's the amount of sand that gets used to frack. We went over UTI Patterson, ProPetro, QC, logistics and maintenance dispatcher. Towards the middle of your screen on the flyer. DOT mechanic, housekeeping, supply chain, coil tubing, frac ops. ProPetro was gone by the time I came back around that second time. Tick hemp, FMC, frac flowback off. Okay, so they do flowback. This company where it says to the upper right or the upper right that you're looking at of your screen towards that way. They do flowback because it says frac flowback operators. So they're looking for frac flowback. So for some of you guys that don't have any oil field experience, that might be a good fit for you to get in with those guys, and you can start building your oil field experience. Whether you have an opportunity to get your CDL with a flowback company, is usually not likely. Materials handlers, drilling service manager. So they may also do work over rig. Thomas Oilfield CDF, field techs, mechanics, non-CDF, field techs. This Thomas Oilfield company, I think they did fuel. I didn't talk to them while I was there, so you guys can check them out. Oil States is a pretty large, well-rooted, well-experienced oil and gas service company. They've been doing it for a long time. American Cementing, for some of you guys that don't have experience, like I said before, that'd be a great opportunity for you guys to get into cement, see how cement works, and get familiar with some of the oil field equipment and things that you're going to be operating and how they work. Bulk plant operators, that means you're gonna be in a warehouse kind of a setting. Let's see, Cng Energy Coil Tubing, operators assistants, and pump operators. I think we went over that flyer. They were 14 and 7. They also have nitrogen operators. What else we got on here? Universal, looking for E-Techs. Excuse me. 1888 roustabouts, power line crews, diesel mechanics, BCM, floor hands, junction fuels. This is probably going to be a company either hauling fuels to the gas station, or they may just be hauling it from LAC to the storage tanks. Let's see. That's another drilling company, rig positions. Based in pump down, that's a pump down company. Now, if you get with a pump down company that doesn't require CDL and you start out as an equipment operator, you may be able to work your way up and get your CDL with that company. It really just depends. Henry Bob Swerkers, what's up, man? Man, Henry Bob been a subscriber for a long time, and I appreciate that, bro. Everything's been going good, man. I ain't got no complaints. I'm probably going home tomorrow or the day after that, more than likely, because I gotta pay bills and do some other stuff. And opportunity for some land and came up that I need to go look at. Tanmar Cold Board. This cold board tech company, they're not really a service company. They're kind of a company that's trying to get their foot in the door to sell information back to the companies that's already producing information. But I mean, I wish. Hold on, got a stupid pop up that keeps showing up from time to time. All right. Let's see. We got Compass. Because I don't want to hold you guys up all day. I'm going to go chill out, man. And this is the Permian Basin hiring events. You can look them up on Facebook and other places. You'll see this company. And you find them at www.permianbasinhiringevents.com. The event itself wasn't bad. They had quite a few things, like stuff that they give away at job fairs and things like that. Get that out the way. We already talked about Halliburton. Need to go back out. Go back out. What else? Did we go over that? PB Materials, Base Energy, Patent, Jaguar. I guess we can zoom in on this circle. You guys can kind of see what this is. Also, the other job fairs that are going to be coming up for the rest of July. The July the 7th, Morgantown, West Virginia. July the 14th, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. July 28th, Odessa, Texas. August 11th, Hobbs, New Mexico. August 25th, Odessa, Texas. So they'll be back here again August 25th. For any of you guys that are looking to come out this way, September 8th, they'll be in San Antonio, Texas. For any of you guys that are further south, I think they also got one in North Dakota. Nope, they don't. It's Texas, New Mexico, pretty much down here in this area, outside of the one on July the 7th for West Virginia. Comanche, excuse me, they are a fuel company, I think. Santa Revolution, Field Service, Tech, CDL, Tool Maintenance, Techs, Deep Well Energy Services, yard laborers, and CDL drivers. That's pretty much what they were looking for. Horizontal Wireline, that's the wireline company that I was talking to you guys about. So a little bit of everything. There's jobs on here for welders, for those of you guys that are welders. There's jobs on here for hydrovac operators, hydrovac drivers, hot oil drivers, winch truck drivers, end dumps. I mean, pretty much anything you want to do if you have your CDL, there's something available here for you. And they have quite a few entry-level positions for you guys that don't have any oil field experience. So for all of you guys that are out there, what else we got? Let me zoom out of here. NOV, we went over them. Bodell Construction, for you guys that were looking for welder positions. Cng Energy Services. And I'll leave that up for a second for any of you guys that want to look at it and apply for some of these companies. Let's see, Baseline Energy, we went over those. Sturgeon, Safety Solutions, Summit Materials, Troy Vines, Consolidated Well Site, Warrior, and Endurance Lifts. All right, I think that is the end of that page right there. Okay, doggone it, go back. So, any of you guys that have never been to a job fair, this is pretty much what it's like. You know, you just walk around, talk to each one of the company representatives, tell them what you're interested in, tell them what kind of skills and stuff you have. And you pretty much go from there, man. It's pretty much self-explanatory, easy. It's something that I would encourage anybody to go do. You know, especially if you've never been to a job fair. This job fair, they actually closed in the size, and it kind of made it more congested. It would have been nice if they'd have left it a little bit more open, you know, so you wouldn't be running into people and stuff. But overall, it was a good, solid job fair. And that job fair, in my opinion, actually represents the oil and gas market today. Now we're gonna have a conversation about now we're gonna have a conversation about what's actually going on in the oil and gas industry. Now, when you look at the price of diesel, when you look at the price of gasoline, when you look at all of that stuff, what you're looking at right now is inflation. The price of diesel is $3. $3.25. I'll be generous and say $3.50 is the price of diesel right now, June the 30th of 2020. The rest of that money you see on top of it is the inflation rate to make back the money that was spent in 2020 by the government. Period. That's all it is. When you watch on television, guys, you see anything on TV comes across about some kind of shortage of something. When they were talking about there was a DEF shortage, has nothing to do with the price of fuel. Nothing. There's a war in Russia, has nothing to do with the price of fuel in the United States of America. And whatever other stuff they choose to come up with over the next, let's see, 2020, so we should be wrapping this up in 2024. We've got the rest of 2020, 2023, 2024 before this runs its course. And hopefully there'll be some changes and things will be different. But guys, I'm telling you, man, we about to see some stuff this year. I want to reach out to some of my guys that I know that are out here. I should have sent some of you guys the link so that we could talk in the live, but it's all good. Can work with what we've got. Okay, my live is not showing on my Facebook. I mean my YouTube channel right now. So this sucker should be on here. I may have to go to the other one to see if this sucker is showing up to you guys out there in Facebook land. So give me just a second to make sure that this video is going out everywhere. Yep, show is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Out everywhere. Absolutely perfect. So, do you guys have any more questions? Hey, JP, watching from Northern Nevada. What's up, man? Robert Nixon. I don't know if you're related to the Richard Nixon, but it's good to have you in here, man. You got any questions? Now's the time to throw them out there. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. But it's good to have you in here, man. You got any questions? Now's the time to throw them out there. Okay. We are rolling. Jushan, is that Szechuan special? Is that what that is? You guys are welcome. Any other stuff that you guys are interested in knowing or hearing about, now's a perfect time. I already got this sucker on, and we can keep this ball rolling. You guys can check out Chasing Andrew Jackson on YouTube. You can check out Tanker Monkey on YouTube. Also, let me go back to Chantel Espillat. I don't know how she says her name, but it's a Chantel Espaiillat. She's on YouTube. She's been a female truck driver for some years, and right now she's blogging about the ports up there in the New York area, what it's like, what's what's trucking like, for female and stuff like that. So that's something different, just to switch it up from time to time. Alaskan Trucker, still waiting on some more videos from him. Bellator, Chin Fat, he makes a lot of Premiere Pro videos for any of you guys that are interested in video editing. His YouTube channel is Chin Fat, ChinFat, D-Boss Garage. It's a Canadian guys that do garage repair stuff up in Canada. They're pretty awesome, some of the stuff those guys have made. They also do tool reviews. Dreamcatcher, Dream Creators, which is Kenneth Lucas, also known as Sea Dog Lucas. And you guys can check him out on YouTube. I think he's on Instagram, some of the other stuff too. Frontline Documentaries, man, they got some deep stuff out there. One on Amazon, one on Facebook, and one on the rise of AI. That stuff is deep, man. J Trades on YouTube. James Pugh. Jason Coyle, he has classic semi trucks and stuff. It's pretty cool, and he's just getting started with his YouTube channel. Luke Powell does a lot of traveling to Tijuana, Colombia, showing you the red light district and stuff like that. Y'all can check out Luke Powell, man. As a matter of fact, me and Luke Powell got a video, I think it was 2019 when we made that video, somewhere up in there, 2019, 2020. Nisha K, she's a female trucker. She's been driving trucks across country and vlogging about it. Oil Rig Jobs, he's a Canadian oil field worker. Haven't seen a video or heard from him for a while. What is that? Man, whoever that is, man. Nah. I don't know who that was in the comments, but like we ain't having none of that stuff. Rouse's Garage, when it comes to Cummins ISX motors, that guy's got some of the best information out there. I think he also has a blog where he answers questions. Real Black, for people that are looking for Black historical videos, commercials, television shows, documentaries, movies, TV series. That guy's got stuff you just wouldn't believe that came on television. Scrappy Acres, Jeff, he's got to make some more stuff, man. Like Jeff does off the grid stuff on his YouTube channel. SoCal Trucker, SoCal hadn't made a video in a while. Tanker Monkey, the FBI Files, the Highway Diva, the Mini Vandals, who I listen to quite a bit of this guy's stuff. The New Detectives, The Office, The Pivot. They got a great podcast. They got a great show. UFC, the Weighing In podcast, and also be on the lookout for Young Brother YouTube channel. He's going to be putting more stuff on, making more YouTube videos. He's going to be getting into staying fit as a truck driver, exercising, working out, how you guys can stay fit as truck drivers and get workouts where you can, when you can, wherever you can. And I think that's pretty much it, man. I think I ran through everything else. Truck's been running good. Trailer's been running good. Had a flat. One tire got destroyed. The weights that go inside your tire in your car got stuck in one of my tires and it totaled it. And I think that tire took out the older tire that was close to being replaced by the tread depth, but I was going to keep running it for a little bit longer. But it took out two tires, so that was about $800, $850 right there. I could have got some cheaper tires, but at the time I thought I was going to be able to get in and get out. But if I was going back to Kermit, I would have got tires from somebody else, and I would have just got some used tires. So you come out here, man, it's going to cost you some money. you're going to spend some money. Just make sure you have it to spend when you need to, spend it on what you have to, and then save as much of it as possible so that when or if you have to buy some hoses, I had to buy some hoses, and those hoses are not cheap. When it's $17 a foot, and you get a 15-foot hose. Um, the fittings are around $30 for the fittings that go on the end of your hoses, and those hoses ain't cheap. But if you keep two long hoses, a mid-length hose, let's say like a 7-foot hose, like the let's see, a 15 to 20 footer, two 15 to 20 footers, 8 to 10 foot hose, and then a 6 and a 4. You're pretty much good because you're gonna whatever you're gonna run into. If you need longer, most of the time you're not running 40 foot of hose. But if you're having to go all the way to that back silo and you can't get back there, and the truck pusher puts you in the front, you're gonna have to run with the amount of hose that you got to get back there. And that's not one of the times you want to come up with a hose that's got a leak in it and some kind of stuff like that. Been watching you since you were in North Dakota. We making money here in the gold mines. We need drivers. JP work is local. Lots of off-road driving, just like the oil field. You know, some coworkers told me about hauling stuff in the mines, and you said the mines. If you talk about coal mines, so you over in Montana, or is that what southern North Dakota, south over by Bismarck, like Robert Nixon? Where you talking about? Because I know some of the guys I used to work with told me about the coal mines over in Montana and Wyoming. Excuse me. It kind of depends. I'll do a little bit of anything as long as it pays good. And right now, I'm doing well enough to where gold mines, Nevada. You know what? I'm good with the heat, bro. I'm good with the heat, bro. I'm good. I've had enough of West Texas and this, whatever you want to call this out here. And if any of you guys want to look to see what West Texas looks like, I'm pretty sure I got some driving videos, like driving through town. I put those together with some music and throw them on my YouTube channel so you can see what Odessa looks like. If I had a van like my Astro van, or if I had a pickup truck, I'd drive around and do a vlog of Odessa, what it looks like, where certain stuff is, so that you can easily find it. You know, when you come in and come see stuff. But I don't have a vehicle out here, so I'm in one of those kind of situations, man. But go. It's awesome, dude. I think I've given a shout out to all you guys. Let's see, Gifted Media, Cyborg, Heads. Appreciate that. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Appreciate you guys for joining me. Henry Bob Swelkers, Robert Nixon, Szechuan Special. I probably should have waited till Friday evening. Probably around lunchtime is when I should have done this video, but I had some other stuff to go do. Sometimes, man, these people at this Motel 6, man. But it's the cheapest motel in town. You come out to Odessa, Texas, the Motel 6 on the south side of Interstate 20, about a mile from the Love's truck stop. It's a mile east of the Love's truck stop. It's the cheapest place to stay in town. The end. Their prices are usually going to beat everybody else's, period, outside of a few places Yeah, this is actually cheaper than those. A few places that are north of here, but they don't. They're not. All right, for example, if I get a load, boom, I'm right here by the highway. I get a load, man, I am right here by the highway. I just wake up, jump in the truck, crank the truck up, come back in here, fiddle around for a minute, let the truck warm up, and then boom, I'm on the highway, east or west. Whether I'm going out to Kermit, whether I'm going down to Rankin, whether I'm heading over to Springs or whatever they call this place that's further east of here. So the Motel 6 is kind of a good spot. It's just, it is, I wish it had more space for trucking, but it's got a concrete parking lot. So that's awesome. If I need to work on my truck or something, boom, I got concrete right there. Uh, and it's not all like dirty and nasty like a truck stop. Truck stop, I'm not getting on that ground out there at a truck stop. And if any of you truck drivers out there are people who, once you get out there in the trucking, there's no reason for you to be touching that ground at that truck stop. Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to think what else. That is pretty much it, guys. But hopefully, you guys can take this information. You can go back, watch this video, see what information that relates to you. Have anybody else that's looking to get into the oil field, leave a comment. I'll answer pretty much whatever you ask when I get some time. And that's pretty much it, man. A little bit of everything going on in the oil and gas industry. Just keep in mind and remember that what you're looking at in the media and in television, that's not what's going on in the oil and gas industry. You're being told some stuff on media, on television, and in politics that is not true, guys. Please understand that. What's going on in Russia does not affect the price of oil, does not affect us whatsoever. The United States is energy independent. The end. Nothing nobody else can do can touch what we have with our energy in our country and our ability to produce it and put it on the table for our consumers in this country. So the stuff you're seeing, it's inflation, it's inflation, it's inflation. Thing about inflation, it doesn't tend to go the other way. So we're about to have a very, very interesting 2 years, man. So hunker down, plan ahead. Right now is a lot of people are getting off of a lot of stuff. They're selling a lot of stuff because they're looking at the number, thinking that's a good number. No, it's an inflation number. And they're hoping that it'll go back down. But why would the government go the other way if they can get you to pay more for something? That's more money going into the system, and most people don't know any better. They're just doing the same thing that they've been doing. There's no shortage on diesel. There's no shortage on gasoline. They can make it just as fast as they want. As a matter of fact, they are stacking some drilling rigs so that frac can catch up. It's not that they can't go get more. They're just seeing what's going on with the economy and with the market, what the powers that be, who I don't know any of them, but I can read the tea leaves of what's going on. So once again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. I got to be getting into some more interviews and stuff like that. Oh yeah, there's a temp agency up here, down here, that has oil field jobs. I forget the name of it. It's a temp agency. Because I was going to go there because she said, yeah, they do day labor for oil and gas companies. I'm like, man, that's perfect, you know, because some people may come out here and while they're looking for permanent oil and gas work to work in the oil field, they may want to get something temporary, you know, until they can Find something that they like. What is it? Labor. I'm trying to think what I typed in. Temp labor. I think that's what I typed in. Temp agency. Workforce. I think that's it. I think it's Workforce Solutions Permanent. No, that's the unemployment office. Yeah, Workforce Solutions is the unemployment office here. HireQuest. They didn't have any oil and gas. They said it's mostly hotel type stuff, like hotel cleanup type stuff is what they send people out to go do. I'm like, man, that sucks. What was the name of this place, bro? Was it Express? Yeah, it was. It's called Express Employment Professionals. They have, or at least she said that they have oil and gas. Shout out to Rob Durag. Appreciate that, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. But Express Employment Professionals, this agency was awesome to work with, one person says. So you can check those guys out. Make sure you double check their address if you actually go up there, because she said they're where it shows them at on Google Maps is not where their office is. So keep that stuff in mind. That's about all I got, man. I'm just go chill out. I'll holler at you guys later. Thank y'all for tuning in. All you guys who left a comment, all you guys who hit the likes, all to you guys who hit the subscribe, all you guys that have shared this video outside of these platforms. William Tate, thank you for the information and gems. Your efforts and energy are acknowledged. Rob Durag, already subscribed. Appreciate that, man. Boom, that's that fist bump right there. All the frac companies are hiring, man. Cud, Profrac, ProPetro, Halliburton, Liberty. There's another one out here. There's another big company out here that fracs. Can't think of who it is. I know I've seen their equipment. Yeah, man. Oh. Appreciate you guys hanging out, man. Subscribing, hitting that like button, and sharing my videos. I've got plans and ideas for a show in the future, and that's why I'm working with this StreamYard to kind of make that happen. And I also got a line on a temporary job doing something in broadcasting. So I'm really interested in that. I just wish I'd have known about it before now, but I know I'll be back over here, and I may hang around this area a little bit longer just to see how that goes. Because she said it would be working at a radio station, working the board. She said that there will be training, and then there will be a few nights on the weekend to get started, and then just pretty much going from there. And I'm like, huh. Of all the stuff that was at the job fair, that was the one thing that was more interesting to me than anything else. Like, oh, okay. I've never done anything like that. I've always been interested in it and wanted to learn more about it. And the opportunity was presented right there to me. And it's something on the weekend that I can easily fit into a schedule. So I always wanted to do something in broadcasting, and all I have to do is fill out the application. So, one thing I can say about this area, about Odessa, there's a lot more out here versus Williston. Williston, in my opinion, Wofford City, Newtown, it could one day. How's Mexico hit me up? All right, bro. Rod the Rag. Hey man, I heard man out there in Hobbs, they say there's a lot more work out there in Hobbs than there is over here in this area right now. They said New Mexico, and I talked to a guy over at Star Energy or Star Oilfield Services or something like that, like right down the road from the Loves. He said they're sending people to Oklahoma because as the work finished up here, it's picked up more in Oklahoma. So that's something to keep in mind. But I'm positive I'm going to the house for a little while. Pay some bills, see friends and family. 4th of July is right around the corner. I may just red eye and get a flight tomorrow, but I'm going to wait and see. Other than that, man, things is going awesome, man. Hope you guys stay safe. Rod the Rag, appreciate you for hanging in here, man. You guys are awesome. And stay safe out here. I'm also on Facebook, so you guys can look me up on Facebook, YouTube, and I don't know if I'm on Twitter. I know I made an account, but I haven't posted anything on there. I might be on Instagram, but I don't think I've posted anything on there. So this is JP with JPTV 3000. Peace. Holler at y'all later, man. Y'all be safe out here. Where's that other stuff at? 2022, 2021, 2020. 2020, let's see. 2020. This 4th of July, I'll leave you guys with this. And this is in North Dakota. This is actually in Wofford City. This is uh this is some of the stuff that comes out when I'm a doggone doggone it. All right. What you're looking at is if you ever do coil tubing, some of the stuff that comes out when you're doing coil tubing is stuff like this. This right here will be in the catcher of the tool bit when we're milling out plugs down hole. For example, in this situation right here, this was we were going down hole and we were hitting something. We couldn't tell what it was. We couldn't tell what it was. We would go down on it. We would hit it. We would mill around on it for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, trying to see if we could uh, cut through it or tear through it, and nothing. Instead, all these little pieces right here are actually pieces of the drill bit that broke off. See those little round parts? All these are pieces that broke off of that drill bit as we were trying to get past it. All these little metal pieces. It was just pieces of the drill bit breaking off as we're trying to get off of what it was. As it turned out, after we tried 3 or 4 different fishing tools to get whatever was in there out, the last time we went down, we were getting ready to rig out and everything. The last time we went down, they went down and then they pushed past it, and then they were able to pull back out, then go back down through it again, and then they were able to pull back out again. And they came to the surface, and as it turned out, I wish I had video of it. It was a frac ball, about the size of what's the ball they play ping pong with? It's a little bit smaller than that, but it was a frac ball, and we were just spinning around on it. Every time we would go down, when you go down on something like a frac ball, it has give to it. So they would go down, and the bit would be spinning, and it would just spin the frac ball up underneath it. So they're just spinning away. And the frac ball it's like a Teflon kind of a little ball, and we're just spinning around on this sucker all day long. But when it went down with the catcher, and the catcher works when you're pumping fluid. It's pumping fluid down through the middle of it, and flowback opens up about 1 over the rate that you're pumping in hole. So you're pumping in at 5 barrels, flowback will open up to a 6 or 6.5, sometimes a 7, but usually a 6 and a 6.5, to let more fluid come back out so that you can push more fluid through, and it acts as like a vacuum. And sometimes we do it in reverse, where we will pump down the backside, and flowback will open up to flow back something through the pipe. But that's you don't do that very often. But that's how this situation right here occurred, and that's how we got it fixed. These are some of the bigger pieces of the bit that it broke off downhole. Let's see. No. That's just some of what location looks like if you ever go out to the oil and gas industry. I think that's me. That's me operating the pump right there. This was an early morning working in the oil and gas industry. Yeah, an early morning night shift. That's my truck. When I think that was after I bought my truck. I took it to a shop so they can look at it. Everything looked good, man. God bless. It was awesome. That's what North Dakota looks like. I'll tell people North Dakota is kind of like Texas, but instead of this bushy grass, bushy, whatever you call this stuff they have out here in Texas, it's like this as far as the eye can see in the summertime. Once we get to September, October, that stuff's brown, and you're not supposed to see nothing else but that brown until late May. So North Dakota has its moments, man. Hold on just a second. Who's hiring new CDL with auto restriction? Okay, auto restriction means you can't drive a manual. Yeah. Dude, I don't know. Cause I hear you shifting gears, buddy. Oilfield, you shifting gears. I'm telling you right now. Hmm. I'm trying to remember where this right here was at. This wasn't at the auction. Locking, yeah, I went around to some of the other coil tubing yards because Neighbors has a yeah. I don't know if Locking is still in North Dakota. You guys will have to tell me. For some of you guys that are up there in that area, North Dakota definitely has its moments, man. This was after I bought my truck and I brought it to the yard and I was checking it out and stuff like that. I changed the oil on it after I first gotten it. I didn't have to change the oil on it, but I was just paranoid about it because the oil was black and I didn't know at the time that semi truck. I don't know who this is that keeps doing this, but John Davis, what's up, man? Hopefully everything's going good out there. Where are you at? And hopefully you guys are making money and being contented, being happy, being satisfied with what you're doing and where you're going. And we're gonna. This is the pump that I ran most of the time. And
twice in one day. Hole number one. They should have redid everything. When they did the packing in this,
and I'm pretty sure you guys can hear.
More than likely, that's the problem. Shooting water out.
Okay.
Grease problem.
Awesome.
Or wrong packing. Hole one, wrong packing, or it's not greasing. One of the two. It's packing hole number two. Pass receptors, speed switches from low break off. Yep, we had this problem right here before with the other pump set. Just big engine valves, engine service. So yeah, this is not equipment, man. Got so much rich, deep history, man, with me and this pump. So I gotta get on out of here. Show y'all what the tub looks like. Come on.
In this box, which if you work in frac, if they still have the box, this is where your seat puller is. And I didn't show it at this time. I don't think I have a video of me pulling seats because when you're pulling seats, you're not doing nothing else. Bro. Just pulling seats is a job. There's a pancake. an all thread, and a duck bill, and it's like a wing nut that you spin around to go down onto it. But you can't see it in this video, so you ain't point explaining that
This is
anymore.
the tub where you mix your water, chemicals. Chemicals will be your, that bag does not need to be up in there.
I couldn't believe they let that bag in
And
there.
try and fool with getting that sucker out of there.
All right, this right here, packing lube. When it comes to this particular pump, I can tell you a couple of things from running it. Inside, look at where my mouse is. Inside here, there's a seal around here that you need to make sure is intact so that water doesn't get in there. Because water will get in there and it will ruin that electrical system in there, and it'll start giving you nightmares. There are two gauges up here. If you're pumping down a hole and you see that one of these gauges isn't moving, but you see the actuator pressuring up the line and it pressures up the whole line, usually you're good. You just have to check to make sure that it's greasing when it's pressuring up the line, even if that gauge doesn't work. But if you see that that gauge is working, but you don't see the line moving, because you'll see it like it will, hold on, I needed to go, okay. All right. You'll see the line like it'll pressure up, and then once it clicks back over, it'll do that. So the line will pressure up, it'll tense up, and then it'll go loose. If you see it doing that when that when that gauge when the gauge is going up, but you're not seeing it go all the way, you're seeing it part of the way, you need to call somebody in maintenance, let them know what's going on, because more than likely it's either stopped up or something's wrong, or the check valve isn't opening, because it'll open the pressure up, other check valve will open and it'll let the grease go through, and then it'll off, check off. Well, go off, check valve close. On, check valve open, off, check valve close. And it closes so that if something happens, you have your packing fail or something like that, your fluid pressure doesn't try to come back through that line. So when you're running a UE pump, keep that stuff in mind. And that's some stuff that you're going to learn over time when operating a fluid pump. Make sure this right here has grease in it. So it's usually going to have a dipstick at the top. You need to try that dipstick at least 3 or 4 times, because sometimes you'll put it off in there, and depending on which kind of grease container you have, it will have a little metal shelf in there. So you'll stick it down off in there, it'll come back out with grease on it. You think you've got grease in there, but really you don't. You're just, it's hidden like the top of it here, and there's like a metal plate in here with a little bitty hole for it to go down through, and you're actually rubbing the grease. You're getting that grease sitting on that metal plate right there, and that stuff will be empty. You never know any better. You'll burn up the packing in the fluid pump, and they'll be looking at you. Weren't you checking your packing? Weren't you greasing? Weren't you refilling your your uh, your packing lube?
This is your lube.
On top of here, which this pump doesn't have it, because I'm pretty sure by this time we were pretty much done. The company was getting ready to sell off all the stuff. This was taken off to put on another pump that was going to Colorado. So we stole it off of this pump to put it on another pump to fix that pump, because this pump was going to the auction. And these are the lines that I'm talking about right here. See where the mouse is? Let me go back to the, all right, see where my mouse is right there? Those are the lines that I'm talking about. Those are your grease lines. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's 6 on top, 6 on the bottom, so that you get you get grease pushed through both ways. Robert Lee, what's up, dude? David Rangel, you asked me who's hiring new CDL drivers. Quite a few companies are, but they're not the driving companies. But they're companies that are looking for people that have they're looking for people to operate equipment. Like quite a few of them are hiring people that have their CDL, but they don't have driving experience, or they don't have quite a bit of driving experience, and then you'll get it over time there.
Oil here has a pump on top of that, or should have a pump on top of that. This right here is your box. Keep your tools and stuff in. This right here is your greaser electronic system. It actually needs a seal to go back around here.
All right. When you're pumping with the tank like this, you're going to have chemicals like FR, pipe on pipe, and you're going to be doing gel sweeps from time to time. Try your best not to spill any FR on that catwalk that you're standing on. If you do, you're going to track it back inside that cab. And if it rains or water gets in there in any kind of a way, it's going to be a nightmare, because FR is friction reducer, and that is exactly what FR does. Think of KY jelly on steroids. You get FR on your clothes, you're going to have to, trying to think what we used to, you can brake clean it off, or that purple Fabulous will get it out. But you're going to have to use quite a bit of it. And remember that working out here in the oil field, if your coveralls are going to the cleaners, being paid for by the company, you have to clean your coveralls yourself. Purple Fabulous will degrease a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to your FR coveralls.
Hopefully y'all can see that. It needs a seal. That's why it does that. This is supposed to be watertight. This electronics out in there. You don't want them getting wet. Hold on just a minute. This right here, like I said, is a greaser packing lube. What you saw in there on the window is a result of this right here probably not greasing properly. The way you check this is you watch these two gauges. This is your driver's side gauge, that's your passenger side gauge. You will make sure that you see this needle coming on and going off. Coming on and going off every so often, depending on how fast and how much weight that you're pumping. These right here are your paddles. That's a paddle. That's a paddle. Spins and mixes the water around with the chemicals as it's pumping down hole. These are your hydraulic lines up here. These run your hydraulics to and from it, and gives you your different speeds. These boxes up here on the top are your open and close valves. Those mirrors are so you can sit in there and look at those mirrors and see. You got one on each side. And both of these pumps are pretty much the same. That's an E-coil over there next to that one. We run the E-coil from time to time. I mean, if that's what the customer wants, that's what we give them. But we're going to go look at these valves right here. Hold on.
Okay, I thought there was more to that video. Sure is. Hold on. Okay, maybe there wasn't.
All right, now, I was talking about these boxes up here. Right there in the middle, those are your valves. They're the open and close. They open and close.
The pump wasn't running, and they'd taken the batteries out of it and unpulled the tractor from it. And plus it was parked back there. I just wouldn't go up to the hassle trying to
that
start
way,
it.
Left to right, it's going to be open. Back and forth, it's going to be closed. Because the hoses are coming out like this and like this. So when you look at this on here, what you're looking at is the exact same valves. Open is up, closes down, you'll have a red indicator light that comes on.
All right. For those of you that are still watching this video, if by some chance when you're operating this pump or pretty much any pump, and you have a green light for open, a red light for close, if that light is no longer working, either the E-Tech or the mechanic needs to look at it, because sometimes that will tell you that it's not opening or closing all the way. So one light will be on, the other light will be off when you go to open or close it. But you usually wouldn't really be able to tell that unless you timed your tub. If you're pumping down hole and you're pumping at 3 barrels a minute, you time your tub to 60 seconds and you see how much flow you lose in and out of your tub. If you start gaining water, for example, where this little circle is, where I've got a pointed manual, that one, I think it was something that had gotten stuck in there, and it wouldn't close, so it would stay halfway open. So we had to manually isolate it so that we can continue pumping out the other side. But that kind of hurt us if something was to happen and we needed to, like if the C pump went out on the other side, we're screwed, because you can't pump the fluid around unless you hook the hose from the.
And you got other piping and stuff up underneath this pump. It comes out. This is how you cut it off. Your passenger side, driver side, neutral. Usually that brake is going to always be break off. Usually that brake is going to break off, go, break off.
Okay, hold on just a second. All right. You see this little circle over here on the right? That's your C pump on your driver's side. The other side is exactly the opposite. These are manual valves. That's what that represents. That little handle, that's a manual valve. So what you could do is you could run a hose from this side underneath the pump all the way to the other side, and you could pull water that way if this line
or instant neutral closes down, you'll have a red indicator light that comes on.
If this line right here isn't working, something happens, this C pump right here isn't working. The only C pump that you got working is this one over here. Let's see, and you wanted to pull from behind that C pump, because you can't do it from the front. You would have to come in from the back. Yeah, you would have to run you a line all the way to this other side and pull water from that way. I've never had that to happen, but knowing the plumbing of the pump and how it works, that's one of the biggest things that was explained to me when I was being taught how to run the pump. I was taught that it is extremely important to know the plumbing of the pump, because once you know the plumbing of it, you know where your water can and can't go, where your water should and shouldn't be going. For example, something's going on and you notice water is like the water in your tub is rising. Usually it's something that's supposed to be closed is open. You may have left one of these switches open, or you may have hit one by accident or something has failed. Or you may have a valve that isn't closing all the way, and you have a situation where you're plumbed into 20 frac tanks and they're all plumbed in together, and you plumbed into a I can't remember what they call it, but it's like an aluminum line that plugs them all together so that you can pull from all of them at one time. I can't remember what they call that. But a situation like that, that's quite a bit of water pressure when all of those tanks are filled So when you go to open that up, that pressure is trying to come through that valve. And if that valve has a hole in it, has a crack, or isn't closing all the way, you're going to notice that, okay, you can't stop the water from coming through. Then you may have to go outside, close that valve off if y'all are stopping for a minute or something, and it may throw off your barrel rate when you go to time your barrels. When you go to time your tub to see what's your rate of loss from what's being pumped down hole.
And you got other piping and stuff up underneath this pump. It comes out. This is how you cut it off. Your passenger side, driver side.
Don't hit that emergency kill. Do not hit that emergency kill.
Emergency kill, instant neutral, power, instant neutral, break off, break off, break off, break off.
When it comes to that brake, you're pumping down hole, that brake needs to be off. Some pumps, it's automatic. When you go to put it into gear, that brake will come off by itself. The brake will release. Some of them, you have to release the brake yourself. If you don't, you're going to burn it up. And that brake is for, okay, I'll explain this to y'all because you may or may not see it operating the pump. You'll also see it with a larger size frac pump. Like you'll see this also. You're pumping down hole, y'all been pumping for however long, and you go offline, and you'll see the frac pump just doing this. It's because the brake is giving way, and that brake isn't holding it the way it should. You need to let the mechanic know, or it's not getting the electrical signal to apply the right amount of force to the brake, or the brake is burnt up. And there'll be sometimes you'll be pumping down hole, you'll be pumping on one side on a pump like this, and you're wide open going down hole, and because I would always come down, like I would have somebody to stay in the pump for a little while, and I'll go down while we're pumping down hole to listen to my equipment, see how it sounds, what it's doing. Is it making any suspicious noises? Do I see any leaks out of the normal? Do I see anything that looks different? Do I hear anything that looks different? Also, when you're running a pump like this, vibrations mean a lot. It's vibrating or rocking or has jitters that it shouldn't have. Usually something's up. Either something fluid related or something engine motor related. Engine motor related stuff that you can feel within the cab usually are going to go bad relatively quick. Fluid stuff it takes a while. Like it may start off subtle and then like gradually get worse.
Usually that brake is going to always be on unless you're starting it from in here with the PTO kicked in on the tractor. This is your manual digital readout. This one has a different one from the other one. The other one has a electronic digital readout.
If you have a pump like this, ignore whatever this thing says. It's a waste of time.
And a manual digital readout.
This pump has 2 sets of monitoring gauges. Actually, it has 3. That screen, these other gauges like curve, transmission temp, pump side, curbside pump rate, then it'll tell you that here. Then you can also tell, you can average out about what you're doing by your transmission converter PSI, main transmission PSI. But I wouldn't try to go by that when you first start pumping. Don't even worry about that.
Yeah. So this is reading directly from the engine what the engine is doing. So is get out of here. So is this side. Driver side, passenger side. This is your throttle. All the way to the left is
what's up, Russell? Adam
0,
89.
all the way to the right is wide open. You always come down, throttle down. So you come out of lockup. How do you know whether you're in lockup or not? There's a light, there's a transmission, and a transmission converter PSI. There's a doggone that in here. It just will not stop.
If that light doesn't work, that's fine, as long as that gauge works. If that gauge doesn't work, you got a problem. You need to have something looked at, because you need to be able to see when your transmission is going into lockup and if it's falling out of lockup. And if it falls out of lockup, more than likely the coil cap is going to tell you first. When this light comes on, you'll see this gauge right here come up. Same thing on this side. When this light comes on, you'll see this gauge right here come up. And otherwise, you're not in lockup. Sometimes you can hear it, but when it's noisy out on location, you can't. When it comes to this throttle over here in the bottom right hand corner, some of these pumps are different. This pump, the throttle is the correct way. The other pump is the exact opposite. So the pumps look alike. If you're on off days, you went on, you were working your tire hitch, they were using this pump. Then you went on off days, came back, they had swapped this pump out with the other one. And you came in shift change with somebody else, sat down, a couple hours went by, they told you to come online or come up to whatever rate, and you go to do the first thing your instinct tells you to do that you already know to do, which is to throttle up or throttle down, but it's opposite. And that will catch you up. This is your curbside boost pump. We're gonna go look at that boost pump in a minute, and I'll show y'all what that looks like. Boost pump is here. These are two manual valves, hand valves that you can open and close yourself. These are pipes that run up underneath the tub. That's what this is. This right here is your tub. And you pump through there, goes into your head, and you pump the high pressure fluid downhole going straight. We're gonna go look at some more of this. It's hot in here, so hold on a minute. And yeah, it's hot. All right, guys, we've been on YouTube for a good little while. I'll holler at y'all later. This is JP with JPTV 3000. Shout out to all you guys. I gave shout out to the guys that were here earlier. So shout out to John Davis, Robert Lee, Russell Adam 8 and 9, and everybody else. David Rangel, Rob D-Rag, Robert Nixon, William Tate, appreciate that. Gifted Guy Media, Szechuan Special, Henry Bob, Swokers, let's say Gifted Media, Heads, and Cyborg. Peace. I'll let y'all later. You guys want to tune in for more YouTube videos? You want to see more stuff like this with me explaining what's going on and what we're doing? Just leave a comment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Peace.